What's up guys, Austin here, and I've had these headphones for a very long time, and honestly, I just forgot to review them, so here it is. These are Plug's newest Crown Series headphones, and they supposedly combine superior performance, beautiful design, and expert craftsmanship at a price that is accessible to everyone. They come in at $99, so they're definitely on the lower scale in terms of price, especially when you consider headphones designed for style. But are they actually a good value? So taking a first look at the packaging, you'll get an idea of the minimalistic feel that they're going for. In the box, you get a carrying case for the headphones. It's made out of fabric and honestly feels pretty cheap, but it should help protect the headphones from dust and scratches at least. Also included are two different audio cables, one for Android and another for iPhone. They both work on both devices, but the audio control is limited to the specific device it's labeled for. Now moving on to the headphones, they have a really clean design that I like. There's pretty minimal branding on them, just the Plug logo on either side of the ear cups and on the inside of the headband. You can extend them on both sides for about an inch, revealing rose gold accents, and they also come in black with a more standard gold accent color. Overall, I really dig the design. They have a really minimal look and they get away with a good design without plastering their logo all over the headphones. Beats. Anyways, there's a really interesting design here. So you'll notice that both of the ear cups have audio inputs, but the included cable only has one output. Well, you can actually just plug the audio cable into either side of the ear cups and it'll play out of both ears. They're not separate like the last pair of headphones I reviewed that needed both to be plugged in. But this got me thinking, and we actually found out something pretty interesting. So because these have two audio inputs, you can actually plug in two separate audio inputs and you can play two separate audio tracks into the same headphones at the same time. Now I'm not sure when this would be useful, but we did find something else that was actually pretty useful and pretty cool. So come here, Joel, real quick. So we found out that you can actually use these as a pass-through just by the headphones themselves. So if you just go ahead and plug in the audio input from another pair of headphones, you can actually listen on two different pairs of headphones, the same input track on both of the headphones. So right now we can be listening to the same thing at the same time. And again, that's something that they don't advertise, and it's actually a really cool feature. Anyways, let's move on to the sound quality. Now these are $99 headphones, so I'm gonna be regarding them in that price range. But overall, they have a pretty good sound. They use a 40mm driver system that delivers pretty decent quality. Again, as I'll say in probably every headphone review that I do, I am by no means an audiophile, but there are a few things that I can note here. The bass is really deep but not overpowering, and the highs aren't too harsh. I listen to a good amount of hip hop, and in cheap headphones, I usually find the drums to be too harsh, but there's no problem with that here. There's a good amount of detail retained in the highs and trebles, and overall it sounds really clean. I only had two problems when listening to these. The soundstage doesn't seem separated enough, and what I mean by that is a lot of the music sounded blended together and there wasn't a huge separation of the vocals from everything else in the track. Now this leads into the second problem, and this can be dealt by just turning up the volume, but I found that when the volume was low, they didn't sound as distinguished as they did when I turned up the volume a bit, and that just goes to show that these headphones are a little bit weak, but they definitely do sound better when you turn up the volume and give them a little bit more power. Ultimately, not bad for 99 bucks though. If you turn them up though, other people will be able to hear your music. They claim to have great sound isolation, but nah, they don't. And this goes both ways. Since they're over ear, they obviously isolate some of the outside noise, but barely. There's no active noise cancellation, so you can still hear just about everything around you. Now, the last thing that I want to talk about is comfort, and this is another area where they're not bad, but they could definitely improve. First of all, I really like the adjustments on the side. There are no clicks or ridges in the adjustment, and you can really fine tune the size of the headband without it slipping on either side. Either way, there's no getting around the weight. They're mostly made of plastic, and though it does have an extremely solid and scratch resistant build, they're still pretty heavy. They're not super uncomfortable, but they will start to feel a little tight after just some time just because of their weight. The earmuffs are made of decent leather, and they're not really terrible or amazing, just good enough. Overall, these are a solid pair of headphones for $99. You're not going to get the same level of sound quality as you would if you spent another $200, but that's exactly the point. At $99, taking into account the sound quality and the style, these are not a bad buy at all. In fact, they could probably charge you another $50 or so, and they would still be a pretty good buy. Now, the only thing that I would recommend is that you spend in a little bit of time breaking these in, but overall, they're still a pretty good pair of headphones. So that is my review of the plugged Crown headphones. I'll leave the pricing and availability down in the description below, but if you guys have any questions, be sure to leave those down in the comments and I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.